The air in Sarah's living room was thick, not with smoke or dust, but with a palpable weight of shared burdens. 10 souls, each grappling with their own shade of depression, sat in a loose circle. There was Mark, whose laughter had long since lost its genuine ring, Eleanor, whose eyes held the weariness of 1,000 sleepless nights, and David, who spoke in hushed tones as if afraid to disturb the fragile peace. Their weekly support group, usually a haven of understanding, felt particularly heavy this mid-afternoon. The clock on the mantelpiece read just past 3 p.m. "It's just a constant battle, isn't it?" Eleanor sighed, tracing patterns on her worn jeans. "Some days, just getting out of bed feels like winning a war." Murmurs of agreement rippled through the group. Each person offered their own perspective on the relentless grip of their struggles, the exhaustion, the feeling of being adrift. Suddenly, without warning, a soft, pearlescent mist began to seep into the room. It wasn't cold or damp, but warm, almost luminous, swirling gently from an unseen source. A hush fell over the group, their discussions instantly forgotten as they stared, bewildered. The mist thickened, obscuring the familiar contours of the room, yet somehow it didn't feel threatening. Then a gasp from the corner. It was Liam, usually the quietest of the 10, his eyes wide, fixed on something within the swirling vapor. I see angels," he whispered, his voice trembling with a mix of awe and disbelief. They're here." Chaos erupted. Some instinctively recoiled, pushing back against their chairs. Others leaned forward, straining to see what Liam saw. A few muttered prayers, while others questioned his sanity. The confusion was a cacophony of gasps, hurried whispers, and the scrape of furniture. 5 minutes stretched into an eternity of disoriented panic. But as quickly as it had appeared, the mist began to thin, receding as if drawn by an invisible hand. The room slowly returned to normal, leaving behind only the scent of something akin to ozone and lilies. As the last tendrils of mist vanished, a strange, profound darkness descended. It wasn't the gradual twilight of evening, but an abrupt, total eclipse. The afternoon sun, moments ago streaming through Sarah's bay window, was swallowed whole. The world outside became a silhouette, and the room was plunged into an eerie, almost sacred gloom. The group, still reeling from the mist, now sat in stunned silence, their faces barely visible to one another. 5 minutes passed in this suspended reality, a timeless void where only the quiet thumping of their own hearts could be heard. Then, just as suddenly, the light returned. The sun burst forth, painting the room in vibrant hues, as if the world had been reborn. But something had fundamentally shifted within the 10. They looked at each other, not with the familiar weariness or shared understanding of their struggles, but with a new, almost startling intensity. There was a spark in their eyes, a lightness in their expressions that hadn't been there moments before. It was a feeling of profound renewal, an unshakable certainty that something had been lifted, something had been given. It was as if the very essence of the song, "When I Rose This Morning," resonated deep within their souls. This morning when I rose, I didn't have no doubt. I know the Lord will take care of me. I know the Lord will provide for me, and I know He will lead and guide me all the way. The doubt that had clouded their mornings for so long had evaporated. They felt a deep, abiding trust, a sense that they were not alone, that a guiding hand was indeed present. The weariness was replaced by an almost physical urge to move, to engage, to live. I woke up this morning. I saw a brand new day. I didn't have no doubt. I felt like walking, felt like walking. I felt like talking, felt like talking. I felt like praying, felt like praying. Oh, sing it. I felt like running, felt like running. The desire to simply exist had transformed into an eagerness to participate, to connect, to express. The weight of depression, though perhaps not entirely gone, felt distant, overshadowed by an overwhelming sense of possibility. They exchanged small, knowing smiles, a silent acknowledgement of the shared, inexplicable transformation. The discussion about life and depression was over, replaced by the quiet, powerful dawn of a brand new day within each of them.